Yehusam Began Eden Tehei Menuchasam Lochein Baal Rachamim Yastirein B'Seiser Kinafav Le'olamim V'Yitzroin B'Yitzroi Rachayim Es Nishmasam Adonai Hu Nachalasom V'yonuchu al Mishkavam B'Shalayim V'Noimar Amen.
O God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant perfect rest upon the wings of the divine presence in the exalted stations of the holy and pure ones, who shine like the radiance of the firmament. To the souls of the holy and pure ones, may the Lord avenge their blood, who were murdered in sanctification of God's name by terrorists. May their name and memory be blotted out. In the merit of the fact that their sons and daughters of Israel and the inhabitants of the whole world, in every place and sight, perform many good deeds in their merit, may their rest be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, O Master of compassion, shelter them forever in the shadow of your wings, bind their souls in the bonds of life. The Lord is their inheritance, and may they repose in peace upon their resting place, and let us say, Amen.
Please welcome Rabbi Nocham Shapiro from Chabad North Shore to recite the prayer for the recovery of the wounded.
Misha Berach Aviseinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Moshe, v'Aaron, David, Shlomo. V'Yivarech, v'Yirape, es kol haptsuyim, b'apigua haratzchoni, ha'idei mechablim yimach shemom, b'ner Aleph de Hanukkah, kan Bondi Beach. V'frat, Arson ben Zoya, Kaya Dadon, David ben Talia, Elon ben Ira, Elon ben Shimshon, Geffen ben Esther, Levi Zev and Lisheva Rachel, Mesha ben Binyamin, Mesha Yenason ben Zipera, Shoshana bas Mina, Teva bas Fege, Yaakov ben Etel, Yaakov Yisrael ben Sarah, Yaakov Dov ben Pnina, Yehuda Leib ben Manya, Yenason ben Zipera, Yosef ben Stern Sarah. Bavur Shekol Hakol Hakodish Hazeh Mispalalim V'Nedim Litzdaka V'Esim Milyoni Mitzvahs U'Maitzim Tevim Bavuram V'Schazah HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachmim Aleim Lachlimam U'Larapesam Lachzikam U'Lachayesam V'yishlach lahem me'era refuah shalema min hashamayim l'chol levoreim v'gideim v'seich shar cheli Yisrael refuah hanefesh u'refuah haguf v'noimar amen.
Please welcome the President of the New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies, David Ossip.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Ossip, and I'm President of the New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies, the roof body of the New South Wales Jewish community. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each of you for being here tonight in solidarity with the New South Wales Jewish community on this, the 8th night of Hanukkah, this special night of unity and commemoration. I acknowledge the presence here tonight of Their Excellencies Governor General Sam Mostyn and Governor of New South Wales Margaret Beasley. The Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese. Federal Opposition Leader, Susan Lee. New South Wales Premier, Chris Minns. Who has not missed a funeral, a synagogue service, or an opportunity to be with the Jewish community this week. Thank you, Chris, for your leadership. I acknowledge the leader of the opposition in New South Wales, a hero, Kelly Sloan. Now just wait for a moment. Just wait. I understand Kelly will tell her story a bit later, but I want everyone to know that last week, Kelly made the choice in the midst of the attack to go down to Bondi Beach, to go to where the incident was taking place, and she provided assistance to those who were injured and gave shelter to those who needed it. I am a personal witness to the choice she made. That is bravery, that is courage. Thank you, Kelly. I also welcome all of the parliamentarians who have joined us tonight, including ministers and shadow ministers, mayors, councillors, leaders of faith communities, first responders, including Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon, surf club presidents, sporting teams, representatives of the Bondi. Thank you. Representatives of the Bondi and Eastern Suburbs community, senior bureaucrats, including some who have made tonight possible, other distinguished guests, rabbis, Jewish communal leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Friends, present here this evening are also many immediate family members and friends of those who were so cruelly murdered at this very place exactly a week ago. Your courage and your resilience inspire us, and we are sending our love and our prayers to you at this time. I want you to know, on behalf of everyone who is here tonight, that we are going to be with you today and every day going forward. And we know that the memory of your loved ones, the pure souls who were murdered so mercilessly last week, will be a blessing. To those who are injured, some of whom are here in the audience tonight, and many others who are watching online, we are praying for you and for your complete and swift recovery. This includes figures like Geffen Bitton and Ahmed Al-Ahmed, whose unbelievable bravery saved so many lives last week. Friends, I spent time with Ahmed this morning, and his father is here with us tonight. And friends, Ahmed has asked me to pass on the following message to us all. Quote, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Today, I stand with you, my brothers and sisters." Thank you, Ahmed. Ladies and gentlemen, in a more just world, we wouldn't be gathered here this evening. We'd be at home with our loved ones, having a barbecue or a swim, talking about the ashes, or out and about, enjoying a summer's evening at a time of year which so many of us treasure, which was traditionally characterized by joy. In a more just world, small children wouldn't have had to say goodbye to their parents this week, wives had to say goodbye to their husbands, or the parents of 10-year-old Matilda to their beloved daughter. In a more just world, we wouldn't have had to explain to our children why our Hanukkah gathering here at Bondi Beach was viciously attacked by monsters last week, purely for the reason that the attendees were Jewish. Or why our synagogues, homes, or schools were the targets earlier this year. In a more just world, Jewish schools and other institutions would not require security more befitting a penitentiary than synagogues or retirement villages. And we need to ask how we've for so long accepted such arrangements as normal. And the answer to the current situation cannot just be more security and larger compounds. In a more just world, we wouldn't be trying to pick up the pieces and understand how last week took place. How after 2 years of escalating anti-Semitism and warnings from the Jewish community and ASIO that lives were going to be lost, that the terrorist attacks still took place. Because whilst we are all in shock and deeply sad, we are not surprised. We feared and suspected that this moment was coming. And whilst a catastrophe such as that which we experienced last week would be a tragedy if it was unexpected, how much more tragic is it that the loss of life occurred despite all the warning signs being there? And on that note, it cannot be disputed that we need a royal commission which goes beyond New South Wales to get to the bottom of how this catastrophe took place. And that must include the Commonwealth. Friends, all of what I've just mentioned would all be the case in a more just world. But as we know, the world and the country that we inhabit is imperfect. As Jews, we are taught that part of our mission on earth is to fix the world, to rebuild a broken planet, and to heal the fractures of our society. As proud Australian Jews who love this country with every fibre of our being, this has always been our mission, since 8 Jews arrived on this land on the First Fleet in 1788. We have always been hard-working, peaceful, and loyal citizens of our beautiful country. And we are proud that Australia is the country of John Monash, Zelman Cowan, Frank Lowy, and Jessica Fox. And this is why what's taken place is so disturbing. Because whilst Jewish communities throughout the ages have often found themselves living in unjust environments and subject to wanton hatred and violence, the injustice of the Jewish experience, up until 2 years ago, Australia was always the lucky country for Jews. But sadly, no more. We have lost our innocence. Last week took our innocence. And like the grass here at Bondi was stained with blood, so too has our nation been stained. We have landed up in a dark place. But friends, Hanukkah teaches us that light can illuminate even the bleakest of places. A single act of courage, a single flame of hope can give us direction and point the path forward, like a lighthouse in a sea of endless light. And that's all we've seen this week. Despite the incalculable tragedy which has befallen us, we've seen incredible manifestations of light. The mass outpouring of support from our fellow Australians and to the Jewish community and other Australians. The many thousands of Australians who have donated blood, and the snaking line of, thank you, and the snaking line of mourners who have waited at the Vigil to pay tribute at Bondi Beach. We've seen the bravery of first responders, the courage of those who saved lives last week, the dignity of those who were injured. Thank you. We've seen the strength and resilience of the Jewish community, our community, who refuse to retreat or cower or become consumed by vengeance, but instead have become more determined to build back bigger and better than before, prouder of who we are and more united. And I should just say that if you haven't realized it yet, the terrorists have picked the wrong community to mess with, because we, the Jewish people, are unbreakable. Resilience is in our veins. And we, together with our fellow Australians, are gonna... That's right, Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people live. Resilience is in our veins, and if you didn't hear me before, I'll repeat it. We, together with our fellow Australians, arm in arm, will keep coming and never give in. Friends, there's nothing preordained about the nature of Australia, our country. Countries don't just happen or prosper by default. They come together and flourish or fall as a result of deliberate choices, of people stepping up and actively choosing what we want our society to look like. The choices of people like Ahmed Al-Ahmed or Geffen Bitton. The choice of all the people here tonight, not the person sitting next to you, you. We determine the country we are and the country we become. And this is the moment for choosing. There are nights in the life of a nation which hold consequences well beyond the moment itself. Tonight is one such night, and it's when the battle for the soul of our nation begins. This has to be the nadir of anti-Semitism in our country. This has to be the moment when light starts to eclipse the darkness. And in that spirit, with all the pain and grief carried by those most affected, the community comes here tonight to complete what could not be completed last week, the lighting of the Hanukkah menorah. Friends, may this be the moment. May the light of the Jewish community and the light of our amazing city and country shine brighter than ever before, and may our country return to normal. Happy Hanukkah. Thank you so much for being with us. Welcome.
Please welcome Her Excellency, the Honourable Miss Sam Mostyn AC, the Governor-General.
Good evening, everybody. I start by acknowledging the land that we're on, the Gadigal land, and acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and pay my respects to elders past and present. David, thank you for acknowledging the very many distinguished guests, and there are so many. I also acknowledge all dignitaries who join us here tonight, but I also acknowledge that what you have done, Rabbi Feldman, in bringing us together tonight is to bring all of us, every single person here, as an important guest as we all move towards healing and to carry light forward in this time of darkness. As your Governor-General, I join all Australians in rejecting anti-Semitism. And I recommit my solidarity with Jewish Australians in a spirit of love, belonging, gratitude and unity. You have always been a vital part of Australia's story of success and belonging. Thank you to everyone who has come tonight and come during the week for coming back to Bondi to reclaim the peace of this place, which was ruptured with an act of terror, unspeakable barbarism at exactly this time, just 1 week ago. We're here, no doubt, to mourn those who lost their lives and those whose lives have been forever changed. But we're also here to honour and thank everybody who has responded to this moment. As you have heard and felt, the heroism of the surf lifesavers, the police, the first responders, the hospital teams and civilians and so many more who work with such extraordinary courage among terrible carnage. And in the face of danger, there were echoes of the instincts of valour that we have always commemorated as a nation. I believe we're yet to fully process the extent of heroism and bravery that defined this place at this time last week. As your Governor-General, I have promised to put care, kindness and respect at the centre of everything I do. And I took my lead from a former Governor-General, a Jewish man, Sir Zalman Cowan. He united this country at a different time and in different circumstances. And he said that the office that I have the privilege of serving for you all must reflect the light and shade of our country back to itself and to help interpret and describe the mood of the country and to embody healing and to build unity. Like all Governors-General before me, in this time of great tragedy and sorrow, I've sought to interpret the mood of the nation and to stand with Jewish Australians and all Australians as we commit to peace and healing and a place where absolutely everybody belongs. Yesterday, at the 110th anniversary commemoration for the withdrawal of the Anzacs from Anzac Cove, we reflected on those brave men, including many thousands of Jewish Australian soldiers. They left the shore of Gallipoli having served to restore peace in the world. From the waters of Gallipoli to the lands of the Gadigal here at Bondi, Australia has a long and proud history of seeking and upholding peace and of commemoration and of promising to never forget. Now, we have long drawn on that Anzac story in Gallipoli to help define our national character. It's important to remember that the thousands of Jewish Australians who enlisted in the First World War sought the peace for us, and among them Leonard Morris Kaysor, who landed in Gallipoli and was the first Jewish recipient of the Victoria Cross. As we draw on Anzac, we must now do what the Holocaust survivors that I have met during the year told we must do across our country, to never forget the horror of the Holocaust and to understand and be educated about anti-Semitism. Learning these lessons, we know we must never let this happen again. We must commit to being a nation where every Australian has the right to belong in peace and safety. We will always remember the names of the beloved ones who died here and those who fought with courage to save lives and end the violence. Tonight and in recent days, Jewish leaders have called on all Australians of every faith, of every background, to perform mitzvah, millions of acts of care, kindness, respect, love and generosity, to embark on a national project of peace, belonging and unity. I want everyone affected by this tragedy to know that I've received letters from the leaders of the nations around the world. The international community believes that together we can fulfil this project of unity and belonging. And as a message of faith and encouragement on our path towards healing from the darkness to light, I'm proud to share with you some words of compassion, care, kindness and respect from His Majesty the King, who said this in part in his message to all Australians. My wife and I are appalled and saddened by the most dreadful anti-Semitic terrorist attack on Jewish people attending the Hanukkah celebration at Bondi Beach. Our hearts go out to everyone who has been affected so dreadfully, including the police officers who were injured while protecting members of their community. We commend the police, emergency services, and members of the public whose heroic actions no doubt prevented even greater horror and tragedy. And finally, in times of hurt, Australians always rally together in unity and resolve. In the King's word, I know that the spirit of community and love that shines so brightly in Australia and the light at the heart of the Hanukkah festival will always triumph over the darkness of such evil. Thank you, everybody.
Please welcome Rabbi Mendy Kotlarsky, the Executive Director of Merkoz, Global Headquarters of Chabad.
Honored rabbis, community leaders, the people of this great city, dear friends, people of Bondi and people of Australia and good people everywhere. I come to you tonight from the heart of the Jewish world. I stand here representing Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in the name of over 6,250 Chabad representatives in 110 countries, millions of Jews in their communities and around the world, on each and every continent, in every kind of place, working hand in hand with every Jewish organization, serving Jews, serving humanity. I am here to bring you one simple message. We are here with you. We stand with you. We cry with you. We ache with you. And we bless you with comfort, with strength, with faith, and with resilience. I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of my colleagues, my dear friends from the Chabad communities around the world, Rabbi Mendel Lipsker from the Association of Chabad Hasidim, who came especially to be here tonight. And that matters, because when Jews show up for each other, when people show up for each other, the world feels it. 1 week ago, terror came to this beach, a place of joy, place of light, a place where families were coming together to celebrate the festivities, the holiday of Hanukkah. And yet we watched the epitome of evil come out. Monsters indoctrinated with hatred, taught not to build but to destroy, trained to shoot and try to sniff out those that are looking to celebrate and live happily. They came to hurt us, and yet they realized what they were up against. Look at this response. Look at each and every one of us that comes out and not says never again, but asks ourselves this important question: what are we willing to live for? What is something that we can dedicate our lives to? What is it that we are willing to stand up and teach our children in the ways of education, training? What are our fathers and mothers teaching their next generation? And tonight, each and every one of you showing up over here gives us the answer. Because the Jewish response to terror is never fear, it is never retreat, it is never silence, but our response is more light, more life, more goodness, more building, more doing, more mitzvahs. We are not going to say never again. We are going to do never again. And that was the Lubavitcher Rebbe's answer to terror. That answer echoes here tonight because of the Rebbe's special love for Sydney. He spoke about Sydney. He cared about Sydney. He believed that what happens here is going to lift the entire world. And tonight, through our pain, through our sorrow, through all of the suffering, you have touched millions of people around the world, across the globe. Hanukkah events like we're witnessing over here, close to 50,000 people showing up. But yet across the globe, over 20,000 events, doubling and tripling, people showing up in cities that I've never visited, you've never heard of. And yet they show up and they say, we're going to light, we're going to rap, we're going to do. This is for Sydney. The world answered your pain with light. They showed up. Tonight, I want to take a moment to recognize what I've come to experience over the last few days. The incredible Kedoshim, the holy of holies that were sniffed from us, incredible people. The resilience of the victims that I got to visit in the hospital. Seeing their strength, seeing the way they respond. But how can I not mention my dear colleague, my close friend, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, Hashem Yimkom Damav, who was the life force of these types of dreams. He didn't dream small. He dreamt big. He dreamed Jewish. He dreamt together. Watching his dear father-in-law, the legendary Rabbi Ulman, over the last few days, showing up. To each and every family, at every funeral, at every event. I remember how closely they worked together. In addition to losing a son-in-law, he lost a confidant, a colleague, his support, who he leaned on, who did incredible things together. The loss for the Jewish world is immeasurable. I remember Eli talking about these events. Eli didn't measure success by numbers. He measured it by unity. How many hearts did we touch? How many people felt like they belonged? How many souls were uplifted? And tonight, as I remember Eli, seeing him stand side by side with his colleague Rabbi Yaakov Levitin, Hashem Yimkom Davav, working his quiet magic behind the scenes, making sure that everything is okay, making sure that everything runs smoothly, caring for people the way he did. This is the way shluchim around the city, around the country, around the world operate quietly, faithfully, every single day, for every single person, for every single Jew, everywhere. And therefore I want to say clearly, and from the deepest place in my heart, this event is Eli's dream come true. Thousands of Jews standing together as one. Thousands of non-Jews showing up, standing shoulder to shoulder. Organizations, community leaders, government officials, a community in love and support, and a community refusing to be broken. Eli, you did this, not just here, not just today, but over the past week around the world. Because when a community stands tall, the world notices. And right now, the world's eyes upon us over here in Bondi. The world is watching in awe. But my friends, inspiration alone is not enough. We must transform inspiration into action. We need to take a commitment, a resolve, to think about what is our next personal step. How are we going to care for ourselves, become better people, better Jews, better community members? Look out for our friends, for our families, for our colleagues, for our business partners, for all those who need us to continue standing together. What is our next mitzvah? But that's also not enough, my friends, because over the past few days and looking at the crowd over here, there are people that were really hurt. There are victims that were injured, bereaved families, children whose lives will be changed forever. They will need us next week, next month, and next year. So as we think about the next mitzvah we can take, let's do something practical. And I ask everybody to lovingly and urgently take out your phone right now. Go to supportsydney.org. Give generously. Give proudly. Give as a statement of who we are. Show the world that when terror tries to destroy us, we respond by building bigger, by loving harder, and by standing stronger. Bondi, you're not alone. Sydney, you're not alone. Australia, you're not alone. The world stands with you. Millions of hearts are beating with yours. May this light of the menorah today, on full glory, in full capacity, be the inspiration and the comfort to the brokenhearted, strength to the wounded, peace to a world that desperately needs it. And as the Rebbe continues to teach us, that even one small act of tzedakah, of kindness, of giving can tip the scales, and we can be ushered into a world, the utopia, the messianic era, with the coming of the righteous Mashiach speedily in our days. And let us shout together, Am Yisrael Chai!
Please welcome our next speaker, Alex Ryvchin.
Since last Sunday, I've been thinking about the choices we all make. The laws given to us, beginning with the 10 Commandments, show us how to live lives of meaning and purpose, to treat each other with respect, to number our days and appreciate it all, so that the ultimate gift given to us, the gift of being alive, is not spurned. While the laws show us how to live, the choice of how we live is ultimately ours. We are each given personal responsibility, the power to choose. Every year, for the past 10 years, Rabbi Eli Schlanger chose me to address the community on the first night of Hanukkah here at Bondi Beach. And every year, I chose to stand there with him and with my daughters, first one, then two, and eventually all three, with Rabbi Eli alongside me as I spoke. I didn't know I was putting us all in harm's way. I didn't know that among us there is evil in its most pure and destructive form. Rabbi Eli chose to live every day with the simple mission of cramming as much good into each day as possible, to help as many people as he could. He counted his wealth not in dollars and cents, but in friends made and good deeds done. Matilda chose to celebrate life with a beaming smile and a dolphin painted on her beautiful face. Reuven Morrison and Boris and Sophia Goodman chose to act with the ultimate courage and reverence of life. Instead of running or taking cover, they engaged murderers, armed with hunting rifles with their bare hands, to distract them just long enough so that others could take cover and be saved. They died so that others could live. The killers, may their names be blotted out, made their choice too. They chose to give up their own lives and liberty just so that Jewish people could die. They chose to destroy worlds, to leave parents without a child, wives without husbands, a community without its beloved rabbi. Why? To what end? For what gain? There is no why. It is of no consequence. What matters now is the choice that we make, how we choose to live, how we together replace the light and decency and love that the murdered cumulatively brought into this world. I have made my own choice tonight. I have spoken of the permanent loss of our way of life as Jews in this country, of the certain end of our carefree days, joining with our friends and family to kindle the lights at this place and celebrate life. But I'm willing to accept that we will now live with uncertainty, even with fear. That is a price I will pay. But I will not hide who I am, an Australian and a Jew. For that would be a price too great. So I have chosen to return to stand again on that now sacred ground on the first night of Hanukkah next year, together with my 3 daughters, to kindle the lights and praise the Almighty proudly as an Australian and as a Jew. Because I know that that's exactly what Rabbi Eli and our dear sacred murdered would have wanted. And I ask each of you to join me next year as we return and kindle the light and praise the Lord and show the strength of our people and of our nation.
We now have a musical piece led by Rabbi Menachem Feldman, the Chazan from the Great Synagogue, joined with Ben Goldstein and the Chutney Band.
HaMoshiach ani ma'amin bevias HaMoshiach bevias HaMoshiach ani ma'amin Oy ani ma'amin ani ma'amin ani ma'amin be'emunah sheleimo oy bevias HaMoshiach bevias HaMoshiach ani ma'amin oy bevias HaMoshiach bevias HaMoshiach ani ma'amin oy bevias HaMoshiach bevias HaMoshiach ani ma'amin
Please welcome the Premier of New South Wales, the Honourable Chris Minns MP.
Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Friends, Bondi is beautiful tonight. And not because of its beaches, its sunset, its people, its fun. It's beautiful because you, in your thousands, in your defiance, in your resistance and resolve, you have returned to these sands just 7 days after a shocking crime and have said to the terrorists, "We are going nowhere." This crime was an attempt to marginalise and scatter, to intimidate and cause fear. But Jews have stood up to this intimidation for thousands of years, and so tonight, thanks to the Jewish community of Australia, on this last night of Hanukkah, you have reclaimed Bondi Beach for us. Firstly, let me say my heart is heavy for the lives that were taken here, for those who've been injured, and for the families and loved ones whose worlds will never be the same again. I want to say this clearly and sincerely. We are deeply sorry. We grieve with you, and with humility, I acknowledge that the government's highest duty is to protect its citizens, and we did not do that 1 week ago. That reality weighs on me heavily. We must accept that responsibility and use it to do everything and anything we possibly can to stop it from happening again. Sometimes I think it's trite when Australians say, and we say it about everything, that we're with you. We say it from birthdays to work meetings to sporting heroes, that we stand with you, that we're with you, we're by your side. I think Aussies are better at showing it than saying it. And they've done just that in the closing days of this year. The thousands who jumped on a surfboard last Friday and paddled past the breakers to show solidarity to this community. The hundreds of first responders, including the police, the paramedics, surf lifesavers who ran straight into danger to protect our community. The 40,000 people who've given blood as an act of public service, the flowers at the pavilion, the red and yellow surf life-saving army, the candles, the tears, all acts large and small, but they show Australia stands with our Jewish brothers and sisters at this time. And I say our because while the attack was undoubtedly targeted at Jewish people peacefully celebrating a religious festival, for every other Australian, the shock and the pain we feel is as if a member of our own family has been taken. The sad truth is that this crime has tragically highlighted a deep vein of anti-Semitic hate in our community. To excuse it as an aberration or a tragic single event is wrong. It will not do justice to the killed and wounded and will not allow us to take steps to stop it from happening again. History shows us that anti-Semitism builds starting with a phrase or a chant, then migrating to the airwaves or in modern times onto the internet, then graffiti on Jewish buildings, then damage to property, then arson, and then murder. In the book of Psalms, we read, "Who is the person who desires life, who loves days to see goodness? Guard your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Turn away from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it." The psalm teaches us a profound truth. Thoughts become words, words become actions. The danger we must confront is the deliberate incubation of hatred. This includes organisations and individuals who promote violence and division, sometimes cloaking it in ideology or even the perversion of religion. This must be confronted. Of course, that's by government, yes, by police, but also by communities committed to the idea that an injustice committed against any of us is committed against all of us. As the late Chief Rabbi Sachs once said, Jews cannot fight anti-Semitism alone. The victim cannot cure the crime. The hated cannot cure the hate. We cannot let the Jewish people carry this burden by themselves. It is Australia's responsibility. We must pay special mention to the Chabad community of Sydney, personified by Rabbi Ulman. Rabbi Ulman, no doubt this week you've been gripped by your own exceptional pain, having lost a friend, a fellow rabbi, your son-in-law, and yet you've been someone who's been able to find wisdom in pain and strength in suffering, and it's been an inspiration to all of us that even in this period of sadness and evil, there is work to do. Tonight we light the 8th and final candle of the Hanukkah Menorah, and it compels us to ask, what will we light tomorrow? How will we carry this light forward when the candles are no longer burning? Civic and government leadership now has a heavy burden: security for this community, justice for the dead and the injured, and action to confront this hatred. But the psalm does not end with solely government responsibility. It says, seek peace and pursue it. And that is the task of every citizen. Peace doesn't happen by accident. It must be actively pursued through compassion, through kindness, and moral courage. Government can encourage it and support it, but people must live it. And that's why tonight, after meeting with the rabbinical leadership of Sydney, who, can I just say, are incredibly persuasive, Rabbi Feldman, Rabbi Ellie, Rabbi Wolf, Rabbi Benny, they're very persuasive people. But after consultation with the rabbinical leadership of Sydney and hearing their strong views, in fact demands for positive action following what happened on Sunday, we're launching tonight a campaign in their honour and in the honour of the people who've been killed and those who are injured and all who are suffering. The initiative is called One Mitzvah for Bondi. For those watching at home, in the Jewish tradition, a mitzvah is a simple but powerful idea. It's a concrete act of goodness, something that you do that makes the world just, more compassionate, more humane. The One Mitzvah for Bondi campaign is inspired by the spirit of Rabbi Eli Schlanger. Eli was in the process of launching Project Noah, a reminder that every one of us is a child of Noah, charged with building a good world. It invites every citizen of our state, of any faith or no faith, to increase acts of goodness and kindness. The rabbis I've spoken to in the last days have been very insistent that this is the best way of healing our country. If hatred spreads through words and actions, then so does goodness. We can't cure hate with hate. And the lesson of the Hanukkah is not that there is no darkness, it's that darkness cannot extinguish the light. So be the light in the world, and may the memories of those who've been lost be a blessing to all of us. Good night.
Please welcome the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Kelly Sloan, MP.
Wow, look at you all. I love this community. I love Bondi. But I'm absolutely heartbroken to be standing before you tonight in these circumstances. I'm standing before you, of course, as the leader of the New South Wales opposition and as the state member for Vaucluse. But I'm more than that. I'm a regular person. I'm a member of this community, and I'm someone who witnessed the absolute devastation firsthand last Sunday. I stand before you as someone who saw the devastation, who arrived here last week while the shots were still being fired, who witnessed the chaos and the distress, and who saw the injured and who held the hands of those who needed their hands held, who saw the chaos and the terror, but also saw the kindness and so many acts of bravery. I had a speech prepared tonight which spoke none of this detail because my experience felt absolutely insignificant compared to that of so many others who are sitting here tonight. It felt raw. But I showed Rabbi Eli Feldman the words I had written, and he very politely told me to start again. He said the words I had written were appropriate and they were beautiful, but that I had a bigger story to tell, that I have shared something with this community that must be retold. Rabbi said to me that bearing witness and recounting that story might be hard and it might be confronting for people sitting here, but it is important, and he is right. Because through the ages, people have denied the pogroms, the massacre of Jews. Indeed, within hours of the attacks on Sunday, there was already that sick denialism, propaganda on social media. Claims that Arsen Ostrovsky, the man that you would have seen in the media with blood down his face, who is sitting here in front of me tonight, and Arsen, you're looking so much better than last time I saw you. They claimed it was part of some sort of theatre, that it was made up. And then they got fact checkers to prove that it was real. The digital hallmarks, the AI that didn't quite align. So yeah, his story was real. But let me tell you, my proof, because I stood there amongst the destruction and the chaos, and I saw Arsen, and he was standing there alone, in shock, looking like a statue, a bloody statue out of a movie. It was real. It was very real. And I went up to Arsen and I took his arm and I led him to brave beachgoers who'd come up from the surf to help and provide assistance. His story is one of many that I witnessed that day. Earlier that evening, I'd been celebrating the first day of Hanukkah just up the road in Dover Heights, and people were laughing and they were dancing, and it was such a joyous occasion. And I was on a stage just like this, about to address the crowd, about to talk about the hope I had after a horror start to the year, a year that had started with our community facing consistent fire bombings almost day after day, and vandalism, helicopters flying over our houses at night while we slept to keep our Jewish neighbours safe. A year where the Jewish community had been doxxed, they'd been abused, they'd been unable to attend university, they had been abandoned by old friends and colleagues in the most heartbreaking way, and people were in fear, and they were accused of overreacting, and no one, very few at least, paid attention when community leaders said, they warned that history tells us that hate speech makes violence possible. How could anyone who is a student of history deny that broken windows lead to violence? Well, let there be no doubt now. Anti-Semitism has now led to the spilling of blood on our nation's most iconic beach, a place that has, for all of us, been a symbol of freedom, of hope, and of the Australian spirit, of our inclusion, of our beautiful diversity. But on that stage, last week, I didn't get a chance to share my words of hope. Instead, while I stood there, I saw the crowd start to run and disperse. I saw CSG security guards start to lock down the event. And I jumped in a Hatzolah ambulance with medic Rabbi Mendy Kotlarsky. Mendy is here tonight, and he is still working. Raise your hand, Mendy. What a hero. I ended up bundled into Mendy's ambulance. I don't know that he needed an extra passenger, but he was on the phone to his colleague Yankee, who had been shot. And Yankee was in a bad state. And so we raced down here to Bondi, arriving within minutes, and we parked under that bridge while the gunman was still on top. And Mendy grabbed his kit and he raced into the scene without any thought for his own safety, making impossible choices about who to deal with first and who to treat. And I helped a man and his 10-year-old boy who were hiding under that bridge get into our ambulance because I thought they'd be safer there. And then I walked into the scene. And what I saw will haunt me forever. But I saw police running into the scene fast and unhesitating with guns drawn, headed into danger. And I heard, thank you to our police. And the final pop, pop, pop of gunfire. And I tried my best to help. A surf lifesaver told me, grab bandages. I said, what do I do? And he said, plug the holes. And I ended up sitting next to people and holding their hands, putting blankets over people who we couldn't help anymore. And I had people fall into my arms who were grief-stricken because they felt that they hadn't done enough, and we all felt that way. But man, I saw them as heroes, and they were heroes, and there was nothing more any of us could do. So what do we do now? How do we save our community? How do we honour the lives of those 15 people who passed away? It is an impossible task. And how do we say sorry? How do we say sorry for failing our community? How do we comprehend what has happened to our country? Tomorrow in New South Wales Parliament, I will read the names of those who've lost their lives in a condolence motion in Parliament with the Premier, and thank you, Premier, for your compassion this week. We will honour the first responders, the surf lifesavers, the regular citizens who came to help, including the brave Ahmed El-Ahmed, who I visited in hospital, Superman, to the rabbis who are strong and brave and who have carried such a burden for the community this week. We will honour the police, and we will honour all the people who visited Bondi with bunches of flowers and who sent messages. And that outpouring of love has given me hope. It's given me hope that we will mend together. But tonight I'm here with you, our community, with you, steadfast, with our broader Bondi and Eastern Suburbs community, to say that I am in pieces with you, but I will be strong like you are strong, and you inspire me. And together we will find the light together. Thank you.
Please welcome Daniel Agon, the President of the Executive Council of Australian Jewry.
I stand here with two proud young Australian Jews. We stand here, the three of us, together with all of you, as Premier Chris Minns has said, to reclaim Bondi Beach for all of us and the Australian way of life it symbolises. The ISIS terrorists do not decide who we are and what our future will be. We Australians make that decision. We Australians will not be dictated to by anyone and especially not those who wield violence and fear in the name of hate. The Australian Jewish community has experienced 2 years of unrelenting vitriol and hate. Protests calling for eradication of our right to speak in support of our freedoms and Israel's right to exist and to defend itself from butchery. They try and begrudge us even the right to define who we are. Proud Zionists. And even what we believe. We have endured 11 firebombing attacks upon our synagogues and facilities, homes, businesses, and a childcare centre within the last 18 months. And now, just a week ago, the cold-blooded murder of innocents. Our people at Bondi were cut down for who they were, not for anything they did. We warned the government of the risk again and again, but our many warnings were not listened. Our answer to the terrorists, to their knowing or unwitting accomplices and sympathisers is this: we will not be silenced, we will not hide, we will not live in fear. There were many heroes at Bondi. Among them are Boris and Sophia Gorman of blessed memory, Reuven Morrison of blessed memory, and I was at his funeral in Melbourne, and one thing I learnt about Reuven was that he knew how to use a few choice words, and apparently, in his bravery, the terrorists certainly got those choice words. Ahmed al-Ahmed, Geffen Bitton, Jessica Rosen, policemen Jack Hibbert and Scott Dyson, who are still in hospital and for whom we wish a speedy recovery. The lifeguards and first responders who ran in, our very own beloved Hatzolah, the mums and dads who protected both their own and other children, and the young and dedicated members of our own community security group. All of them, and so many others, risked their lives to protect the vulnerable. We thank all of you, those that I have mentioned and so many more, from the bottom of our hearts. To honour those heroes, the rest of us must now say enough. Every level of government, from the federal government down, and every sector of society must take the necessary steps to make us all safe. One necessary step is, as David Ossip has already said, and I thank him for the courage to say it, a Commonwealth Royal Commission. Last Sunday, Jews were the target, but they were not the only victims. As we saw last Sunday, anti-Semitism makes us all unsafe. I find hope, and we have to find hope. I find hope in the flowers placed outside synagogues across this country. The outpouring of messages of support, the person who simply said, "You deserve better." We all deserve better. We deserve an Australia where we are all safe, safe to practice our faith and culture openly, safe to live. The proud young Australian Jews on this stage and the young Australians, Jewish and non-Jewish, that they represent deserve that. We owe them nothing less. Many of you are wearing B stickers for 10-year-old Matilda, the youngest victim of Australia's worst terrorist attack with the most Australian of names. Valentina, Michael, and your family, I spoke to you before, our hearts go out to you. Know that the Jewish community and the whole of Australia is with you. In honour of your beautiful, beautiful daughter and sister, the band will play Waltzing Matilda.
Please welcome David Campbell to sing Waltzing Matilda.
Good evening. This is Matilda. Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boy, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched, waited for his billy boy, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck, drank by a billabong. Up jumped the swagman and cackled with glee, and he laughed as he walked, put him in that tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Come waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he tucked that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. Sing it with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang and he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You come a waltzing Matilda
Next up, we welcome a survivor, Kaya Dadon, joined by her parents, Rabbi Menachem and Shterny Dadon from Chabad for Israelis, and they are joined by Aaron Molen.
Thank you all so much for coming. It gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who clearly needs no introduction, the incredibly brave teenager, yes, Kaya. Another round of applause, please, for this incredible woman. And of course, her amazing parents who are so immensely proud. Kaya, I want you to take us back to the moment a week ago. You had found cover. There wasn't much of it. You chose to leave what was a relatively safe space to save other people's lives, children's lives. Why?
Like, that's the answer. Those people, those children were like, I felt so connected to them the whole time. And that's the thing about the Jewish people. Like, I saw those kids and they were mine. They were my kids. And I knew whatever I was going to do, I was going to do it for them.
So you are extraordinarily brave, very mature, but you are human. You must have been terrified. Can you talk to me about that fear that had to have been there and how you overcame that?
The thing is, I didn't feel not 1 inch of my body scared because, like, I hadn't even practiced this in the past or anything, but I genuinely felt like, not even a metaphor, like physically, I felt God holding my hand and whispering, like I heard the words. I don't know if I was going crazy or something, but I heard the words. He was saying, this is it. This is your mission. This is your purpose. Because the Jewish people, obviously, a lot of you guys know, big concept of Judaism is having a purpose and having a meaning to be in this world. And in that moment, I felt so, like, directed in the right direction, and I was like, there's no going back, there's no not doing it, there's no maybe doing it, I'm doing it, and nothing was getting into my way.
I want to ask you now how your world has changed over the past week, and I'm sure, in fact, I'm not even going to put words into your mouth because you just told me you felt no fear. So I'm going to actually just ask you, how has your world changed? I'm sure in good ways and in bad.
Someone actually asked me out the other day, they were like, do you feel like you're famous now? And I was like, they were like, do you like it? And I was like, I don't like being famous. I like the reason people are understanding me, the reason people are stopping me on the street. I love being that inspiration for people and being that light in this tunnel of just darkness, pure evil. And that's the part that made me realize, like, this is why I'm sharing my story, to be that light and to share all of this with all of you amazing people. And I just want to say I love you all. I'm not done.
Kaya asked me just off stage then if we could be television best friends, but I feel a little bit threatened, to be honest, so I'm not sure I'm ready to him. She's too good. Kaya, last question for you. What is your message to Australians? And I know there are so many here who are Jewish and there's so many here who are not Jewish, who care deeply about your community and about you. What do you want to say to Australia?
The thing is, I have so many quotes and so many inspirational lines that just popped into my head. Like, I have so many things, so many lessons that I've been taught, so many, like, crazy, like, so many ideas and concepts, obviously, like, the basis of Judaism. And then I'm like, that's it. Like, I know I said this before, but all of the, you know, the learning and all of the everything that led to this moment. And in that moment, I was like, this is it. Be that light. If you guys get inspired by one thing at all, be the light in that field of darkness. And you know what? They're just going to make us stronger. I said this, I'm sure a lot of you heard this, but I said this so many times. They think by doing that, we're going to be obviously mourning, but we're getting stronger as a nation, and we're growing, and like sometimes growing hurts, but we're growing, and life is going to move on, and why not make the best of it?
Oh, that is absolutely beautifully said. She's an incredible young woman. Before we go, I just wanted to say something quickly. When I was at school, I learnt about the impact that Jew hatred can have on a community, and I learnt about bystanders who said and did nothing. In 100 years, our children's children and their children's children will learn about what happened here at Bondi last Sunday. They'll learn about the terror. They'll learn about the tragedy. They'll learn about the names of those we lost. They'll also learn about stories like yours of heroism, stories like Ahmed's, stories of Kelly, of everyone who ran in to help the police. They'll also learn, and just as importantly, what we did next as a nation. And may that be moral courage, strength, leadership.
Amen.
May that be the silent majority in this country standing up and roaring to life. May it not be moral cowardice, and may it not be more failure. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Kaya and the Dadon family. Please welcome next Rabbi Yehoream Ulman, the Rabbi of Bondi Chabad, to say a few words.
Dear friends, my dear community, for almost 40 years, I have stood here in Bondi as a shliach, as an emissary of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I have shared in weddings and births, tears and laughter. I have watched children grow up, parents grow older, and strangers become family, and the community blossom. Year after year, we've gathered here to light candles, Hanukkah candles, because we believe in bringing light into the world. Last week was meant to be a festival of joy, a celebration of family, unity, hope. Instead, the darkest form of evil violated the sacred space. But we are back. I stand here tonight to say loud and clear, the darkness does not get the final word. Light will win. On the first night of Hanukkah, we were prevented from lighting even one candle. Tonight, we are going to light all 8. On the first night, we expected 1,000 people. Tonight, I found out in the news, 20,000 or more, how many came. And the hundreds of thousands are watching and are here with us. Bondi is with us, Sydney is with us, Australia is with us, and the world is with us. As the previous speaker, Daniel Agon, said, we are not retreating, we are not hiding, we are not shrinking. We are responding with more light, more love, and more unity. We owe this to the 15 precious souls we lost. The Torah teaches us that the greatest way to honor those who are no longer with us is, in the words of King Solomon, V'hachai yitain eliboy, to live a life inspired by the memory. And as Rabbi Kotlarsky said, that the only way we can let the goodness continue is only through actions. Each one of the 15 precious souls, Hashem Yikoim Domom, has left us with lessons we can emulate. I want to name each one along with only one thing we can learn from them. Tanya Tretiak, she wasn't Jewish, yet she came to stand with her husband and the community. Let us show up for one another, even when we are different, and be allies to those who need us. Marika Pogani, a tireless volunteer who delivered thousands of meals. Let us care for the elderly, the vulnerable, and those who feel forgotten. Adam Smith, known for his legendary hospitality, let us open our homes and our hearts and make others feel welcome. Peter Marzo Meger, a police officer and a community leader, let us commit to service, to showing up for others, and giving back to the places we call home. Daniel Kayam, he was killed while celebrating his Judaism on a beautiful day. Let us not postpone what matters. Let us live with meaning now, not someday in the future. Matilda B. Britvan, a beautiful, spirited 10-year-old child who brought light wherever she went. Let us bring a smile, a sense of pure goodness into the lives of those around us. Boris Gurman, who bravely attacked and tackled a gunman to protect others. Let us find courage to speak up and act when we see evil and injustice. Sophia Gorman, who met prejudice with principle. Let us respond to hatred with dignity, humanity, and moral strength. Alex Plateman, a Holocaust survivor who died shielding his wife. Let us put the safety and dignity of others before our own comfort. Tibor Ryvchin, who greeted children in our synagogue with a smile and a lollipop. Let us make our community a place where the next generation feels safe, happy, and loved. Boris Tetleroyd, a devoted provider and a gifted musician. Let us work hard for our families and use our talents to bring beauty into the world. Edith Brutman, a woman of integrity who chose humanity every day. Let our decisions be guided by conscience, not convenience. Reuven Morrison, who fought back with courage, determination, and faith. Let us stand firm in what we believe is right. Rabbi Yaakov Levitin, who chose a life of community service over a lucrative career. Let us put meaning before money and purpose before profit. And finally, my beloved son-in-law, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, who treated every human being as precious, whether a prisoner or prime minister, a billionaire or a beggar. What he saw was a soul deserving of love. Let us try, each in our own way, to see people as he did. Tonight, I ask every person here and everyone watching to take personal responsibility to continue the light those souls brought into the world. Let us not wait for tomorrow. Let us start today, tonight. The Lubavitcher Rebbe taught that darkness is not defeated by anger or force. Darkness is transformed by light. And that light begins with what each of us chooses to do next. And returning to normal is not enough. Sydney can and must become a beacon of goodness. A city where people look out for one another, where kindness is louder than hate, where decency is stronger than fear. And we can make it happen. But only if we take the feelings we have right now and turn them into action, into continuous action. Pe'ula nimsheches. What does it mean? For all humanity. That begins with the most basic foundations of civilization. The 7 biblical Noahide mitzvahs, laws, which means to respect the sanctity of life, to reject violence and cruelty to all living beings, to value family, to act honestly, to protect justice, to recognize that there is one God who calls us to live with decency and responsibility and to honor him. These simple principles are the bedrock of a good world. And for us Jews, it means living proudly and visibly as Jews. Women, light Shabbos candles on time, bringing peace and holiness into your homes. Men, put on tefillin daily and proudly, binding faith to action. In every Jewish home, put up mezuzahs. Let our homes declare that Jewish values, goodness, faith, and responsibility live here. Do an act of kindness today. Have compassion for others. Resolve a conflict peacefully today, not tomorrow. Every positive choice we make brings healing not only to us, but by extension to the whole community and to the whole world. Our tradition teaches us that goodness is contagious. One good deed leads to another, and the world itself begins to change. When light multiplies, history shifts direction. We have to make history today. Ani Ma'amin, I believe with complete faith that as we respond to this pain with more goodness and more light, we bring closer a world without hatred, without violence, without fear. A world filled with dignity, with peace, with hope. A world of redemption, ushered by a righteous Mashiach. We can't wait any longer. May the memories of those we lost be a blessing. May the injured be healed. May our sorrow be comforted. May all those heroes who shielded, protected, adults and children, be blessed and rewarded. And may God give us the strength to make goodness prevail. Light will win Mashiach now. Thank you.
Please welcome Rabbi Mendy Ulman from Bondi Chabad to lead us in the prayers for the menorah lighting. Please stand if you're able to.
If you forgive me, as we light the menorah, and we're surrounded by thousands of holy Jewish people, for those who know my father, Rabbi Ulman, Shema, by him was very important. And here today we have an opportunity all together to hold our right hand over our eyes, and as the night comes, we say the blessing that defines us as Jewish people, that we recognize that we are all children of one God. So if you will join me together, covering your right hand over your eyes, and let's say, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avoseinu b'yamim hahem izman hazeh.
Please welcome from Bondi Surf Lifesaving Club, Anthony Harries Carroll and Australian Olympian Jessica Fox to introduce the candle lighters.
Bondi has been my home for many years, a place of surf, light, peace and harmony. It's a beach where we live, we save people, nature is respected, our background, our culture, it's everything at this beach. Me as a proud Bondi lifeguard, Bondi lifesaver and Bondi local, we stand behind our Jewish community. We love and adore you.
It's deeply moving to be with you all this evening together. The events that unfolded here on Sunday have shaken us deeply. They have had a devastating impact on our Jewish community, our Bondi community, and our Australian community as a whole. What was once a place of safety and joy became the site of unimaginable loss. And we carry that sorrow together tonight. We wish long life to the families who have lost loved ones. May their memories be a blessing. And to those who are injured, both physically and emotionally, may healing and peace come gently and in time.
It's now my honour to welcome the first responders as well as the key people who stood up for our community when it mattered, most to light the candle of the menorah. Tonight, as they help light the menorah, we honour not only the actions but the values they represent: compassion, courage, unity and the light in darkness.
The shemesh, the candle that lights all others, symbolises the courage of those who bring light in darkness. And tonight we honour Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who embodied this spirit through his heroic actions in Bondi, disarming a terrorist, saving lives, and doing so at great personal cost. He placed the safety of strangers above his own in a moment of profound courage, and here to light the candle is his father, Mohammed Fateh Al-Ahmed.
I call upon Manny Levian, a paramedic with New South Wales Ambulance for over 18 years. In the aftermath of the devastating events at Bondi Beach, New South Wales Ambulance personnel were among the very first on scene, providing life-saving care with courage, professionalism and humanity. He was joined by Rabbi Mendy Kotlarsky, OAM, a leader, a volunteer with Hatzolah. Australia, he played a crucial role during this Bondi Beach terror attack by rushing to the chaotic scene, helping treat the wounded and coordinating life-saving events even as gunfire continued, drawing on decades of first responder experience to save a life.
We invite New South Wales Police Commissioner. My apologies. We invite New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon, representing New South Wales Police, together with Simon, who is lighting on behalf of those who were wounded. I now call on Vladimir Kotliar, representing our SES volunteers who with quiet strength selflessly serve our community in moments of crisis. Along with Darren Chait, a senior emergency medical responder and Director of Community Health Support, who led the 19 CHS volunteers who were on scene within a couple of minutes. They spent hours triaging and treating the many injured, and the Commissioner and Chief Executive of New South Wales Ambulance, Dr. Dominic Morgan, ASM.
I now welcome Stephen Pearce, CEO of Surf Life Saving Australia, whose lifesavers and members of my team ran towards danger, providing immediate aid, protecting lives and embodying the courage, selflessness, community spirit that defines surf life saving at its very best. And my fellow lifeguards, for the professionalism that they displayed, the courage. I'm so proud of you boys. I'll be with you if ever.
Lighting in memory of victims of this attack, Rabbi Eli Schlanger and Rabbi Yaakov Levitin are their children, Nosson Schlanger and Shlomo Levitin. Lighting in honour of his son, Liebel Lazarov, who was wounded in the attack, Rabbi Yossi Lazarov. We welcome Nachman Dickstein and Mendy Amzalak from Zakar, who travelled with the team from Israel to assist in the painstaking and sacred work of processing the scene. Ensuring dignity, respect and compassion for the victims and their families. They are joined by David Tobb from the Sydney Shebra Kadisha. The organisation worked tirelessly to facilitate funerals for the victims under tragic circumstances. We invite them to light the seventh candle. The flame of the final candle will be lit by Michael, father of the youngest victim, Matilda B. We express our deepest sorrow for his unimaginable loss. Matilda, her beautiful smile and shining face will remain forever in our hearts. He is joined by David Super, whose son, Yankee Super, despite being injured in the Bondi terror attack, showed extraordinary courage by helping others and assisting those around him in the midst of the chaos.
I'm a teller of stories, I'm a singer of songs. I am Albert Namatjira, and I paint the ghostly guns.
I'm Clancy on his horse, on Ned Kelly on the run. I'm the one who sang Matilda, we are Australia.
I'm the hot wind from the desert, I'm the black soil of the plains, I'm the mountains and the valleys, I'm the droughts and flooding rain.
I am the rock, I am the sky, the rivers when they run, the spirit of this great land. I am Australian. We are one. Sing it. But we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia. But we are many, sing it. And from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia. I am, you are, we are Australia.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. Sing with me. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו. Please join me. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. Sing it. יעשה שלום, שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה
Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. On the screens, you will find